Hello and welcome to another episode of the So Here For It podcast. My name is Amy Mingan and today we are talking about the seasons of business. I have been seeing what people write on the internet quite a bit lately, and specifically in the practitioner side of things and in the coaching world, people are saying things like, I'm not getting as many clients. Is anybody else getting more clients right now? Why is it so quiet? When I post, I'm not getting any engagement. They're like really struggling to get new clients off social media. But at the same time, I think there's a lot of people going through what I call winter. And I don't know if you're familiar with the term of what a winter season is inside your business. And anyone who's been in business for a little while will have probably heard of this, or you've experienced it and now you're going to be able to put something like a name to it, right? I've been through quite a few winter seasons in my life. And it is the time where you actually capacity build. Like, I would say that a lot of people think they're building capacity when they've got loads of clients. This is a different type of capacity. There's a capacity that you build when your plate is full, and then there is a capacity that you build when you perceive that your plate is empty. So think about it, as above, so below. Now, there's going to be different people at different stages of business, at different stages of what full means and different stages of what empty means, right? We all have a different perception of reality as far as what abundance is and what scarcity is. And what I perceive as abundance or scarcity is probably going to be different to you. So, of course, apply this through your own lens. I mean, we don't have any choice in the matter anyway. We're always going to see it through our own lens. But I want you to really hear me today when I say, I want you to stop comparing yourself to anybody else in business, especially if you're going through a winter stage, because there will always be someone else who might be in their summer. They might be in their spring. They might be in their autumn. So if you're going through winter, inevitably you're going to end up having a stage of spring. You're going to actually make it one day. But the only way that you'll make it is if you keep going. So today I want to talk a little bit about what it is like to actually make it through winter, what capacity building really is, but also I want to give you a few tangible things to do if you're in winter at the moment, because it's actually a very fruitful time if you allow it to be. Might not feel fruitful right this minute, but it will be soon. You've probably heard of the saying, this too shall pass. It's going to be one of those moments, okay? So what I see a lot on the internet in practitioner groups is people asking for new strategies, people asking for what worked for someone else, and they're asking about, different software that could help streamline their business. They're asking about different things that they think are going to help break them through winter. But the truth is this: nothing makes you break through winter. And I want to give you a metaphor to utilize here, because this is really helpful if I ever go through it, and it'll make you giggle. So I'm going to take you through it, all right? I want you to imagine you're a farmer and you've got a beautiful farm, and what you have in your hand is some seeds. Your land is already prepared, ready for the seeds, and you only plant the seeds during winter. So right now it's winter. I want you to imagine you go outside, you put your boots on, put your warm winter coat on, and you've got your seeds, and you're going and you're putting them out in all those rows. And then you put the water on them. Then what do? You allow nature to take its course. Do you stand there like crying over the seeds because they haven't yet sprouted? Do you make it mean that you mustn't be a good enough farmer because you don't have anything to show for your seeds yet? Do you go and tell the neighbor next door that the neighbor must be way better at farming if the neighbor's got seeds that have sprouted? Or maybe you're looking on other farming groups to see how somebody else makes their seeds sprout faster. No, a farmer doesn't do that, do they? What does a farmer do? A farmer creates the right conditions for that seed to grow. So what does a seed need? It needs some TLC, doesn't it? It needs the right soil, it needs the right temperature, it needs the right nutrients, it needs the right water, sunlight, etc. So I want you to think about, all right, we're going to step back into business for a minute. I want you to think about, okay, Right. So if I'm using the farming metaphor inside my business, and right now is winter, what are my seeds? I want you to think about, what are your seeds? Your seeds could be ideas. Your seeds could be actions that you're already taking. You might go to a networking event and meet somebody who's going to become your best referrer, for example. You might create a masterclass. You might create a podcast. You might create a brand new offer who serves a really specific audience. There's so many different things. There is an infinite number of ways that you could be planting your seeds right now if you're in winter. But I don't want you to expect instant results. This is the most important part. Anyone who built a sustainable business never did it in the first week. They never did it in the first month. And heck, they probably didn't even do it in the first year. It can sometimes take a full decade of trying and refining and creating and going again and getting feedback and attracting a new thing in and refining and going again and getting feedback. You can imagine the frustration that happens to anybody who is in a winter phase. I've been through it. I know. I know. And all of your deep, dark fears come up during that time. All of your scarcity mindset, limiting beliefs, all of the things that you think about yourself that you don't normally think about yourself when you're winning. You actually feel like you're failing while you're in winter. But what if you're not actually failing? What if this is just a season that is part of your life, that is part of growth, and it's part of the actual natural cycle? Are you going to accept it more? I think you might. So let's jump back into the farmer. The farmer has, for a few months, helped that seed be in the right conditions, the right environment. And guess what has happened? It has sprouted and it's grown into a full plant. Is the plant ready to harvest yet? Maybe some are, maybe some aren't. The beauty of it is there is something to go with because it's spring. Spring harvest. You've heard of this, right? Now, the good thing about a spring harvest is there's something else following it. There's summer. Summer follows spring. Now, these couple of seasons are fruitful. You harvest, you're abundant, you're focusing on the great things. This is amazing. But then autumn comes. Some of the leaves start falling off. Some of the things start to die down. You might still have a few little things that you can harvest, but inevitably in autumn, guess what happens? You're going to need to tend to that garden, to that plot, to that land. And you're going to have to figure out, what are you going to plant next? But planting season's not there yet. You need to actually figure out, how much did you yield? What did you document along the way? What was interesting? What worked? What didn't work? And you're going to have to complete that part of the cycle. And I have to say, back in the day when I first started putting out like really good offers, must have been in like the about 2015, 2016. That's when I started getting online. It was like people would buy, and then I was so scared to do the autumn phase. I was so scared to get their feedback. I was like, oh my God, I don't know if I can handle this. I thought, what if I did something wrong? What if I hurt someone? What if they didn't like it? What if they don't like me? I used to be so worried about that stuff. But that's actually normal. It's a normal part of autumn. And if you can start being just as normal about autumn as you are with winter, it just makes the summer and the spring so much more juicy. So I want you to have a think about, all right, what season are you in right now? You might be completely abundant and you might have been there for a while, but let me say, inevitably these cycles will return. They sometimes happen fast, they sometimes happen slow. The most important thing is that you know that they're coming and you don't make it about you when it happens. If it is about you, that's fine too. But you do your stuff and the business stuff separately. You are your own energetic being. Your business is its own entity, but you happen to go in and inject your energy into the business. That's how it works. The energy of the business is actually separate to you. The business does not have any qualms about charging whatever money. The business is almost like a vessel. It is an empty container and you go and fill it. But it requires you to be more stable, less emotional, or less carried away with the emotions. It doesn't mean don't be emotional, not at all. Feel your feelings 100%, but don't let the feelings overtake the business. I think that is the difference. Accept the cycle that you're in. Accept the fact that cycles will come and go. And sometimes they don't stay as long as what you want. And sometimes they stay for way longer than what you want. And either way, you're going to be okay. I want you to remember that you have willpower, like you have full choice here. So if you were to step into your business right now with all your energy, what season are you in? What are you putting out there? What are you reaping? What are you sowing? What are you feeling rewarded with? And if you don't know yet, that's okay. That is actually totally okay. It's time to start reflecting and figuring this stuff out though. Because if no matter what you think you're in winter, you're going to keep getting more winter. You know, I was talking to a client this morning about the reticular activating system, and it is, what are you looking for? Because you're going to keep getting more of that. So if you find evidence of more abundance, and that can be that I'm not just talking about money, I'm talking about the way that you live, the things that you enjoy. I'm talking about the feelings that you feel, the noticings that you have in your life, the things that you consider, the things that you're calculating or you might be analyzing inside your mind. All of it is so important. But what's most important is that you start applying it in a way that's actually for your highest good. Because the things that aren't so much for your highest good are the things that you continuously tell yourself you're bad for, or that you're not good at, or that it's not good enough, or there's not enough. All of that is a scarcity mindset, and the scarcity mindset is only going to drag you down, and it's only going to be like this glass ceiling on you. I don't want that for you. You can start to retrain yourself and start to think different thoughts, which will bring different beliefs, which will also bring different actions, and of course, inevitably different results. So just remember, what neurons fire together, wire together. So even if you've got to trick yourself into being a little bit more optimistic, you trick yourself into seeing the thing that is actually working right now instead of the thing that's not, that's going to be key here. And of course, as always, if you need a hand with this, I'm here for you. You can come and visit me over on Instagram at Amy Mingan. Come have a chat with me. Let me know where you're at. Let me know the season that you're in, because that's far more important, to have support and not feel like you're doing this alone. You know, inside my mastermind that I created many moons ago called Woman of Value, this is the biggest thing that they love about being a woman of value. Like you might think, oh yeah, that's just, that's going to help people show up on social media. Yeah, it does, but it does so much more than that. It's the community. It's you feeling like you're not having to do all of this by yourself all the time. It's you having the support around you to be like, yeah, okay, I've got permission to totally be myself. I've got the permission to actually be exactly where I am, and then to take the next step, as opposed to however you used to do it in the scarcity, waking up at 2 a.m. worried about money, or worried about clients, or worried like, am I cut out for this? Maybe I'm not a business person. Maybe you are. You just haven't had the right environment or the right conditions in order to succeed yet. So if you need a hand, reach out. I'm just about to reopen Woman of Value this week. So reach out to me. I'm so happy to answer questions and have a chat with you. And thanks so much for listening to me. I'll see you on the next episode.